It's a Navia time. So I got Navia during an incident, and since that incident, I have been messing around with Navia in different teams and different ways, and I decided that I think the most interesting thing I can make a video about her is regarding her and Bennett together, mostly in testing how relevant she is without Bennett, because the number one thing I think is quite good about Navia is how versatile she is. It's a little bit of an abnormal trait for a Geo unit, and notably just on-fielders in general, to have pretty strong versatility in different teams. The difference with Navia is, like, she still really wants Bennett. Basically, Navia's got her skill hit, right, and she has two charges on her skill and can do 2 big hits. You have to, like, do crystallizes and get burst hits and whatever to get stacks on her bullets, and then she has a whole bunch of stacks. It's a big old wall of text. All you really need to know is that her skill does a really big multiplier damage. And when you have characters that do really big attack scaling multiplier damage, Bennett, because Bennett do a big attack buff. But the weird thing with Bennett is a character that shifts like what stats are most valuable on characters quite significantly when you use him. And also, what other attack buffers do we have in the game other than Bennett? Well, there's Chivalrous, who forces, overload team comps, so not exactly relevant for Navia. Other than that, we have, some self-attack buffs that characters give themselves. For the most part, it's just Bennett, right? And then artifact sets like Noblesse, which usually you use on Bennett too. So there's this problem where, Spiral Abyss, that's not Spiral. Spiral Abyss requires 2 teams. And yeah, the endgame against requires 2 teams, and that means you might have a situation where you want to play Navia, but you also want to play, I don't know, say Arlecchino. Both of these are characters that have big multiplier attack scaling DPS going on, and that means they both really like Bennett. So what do you do in the circumstance of, oh, you want to play Navia and Arlecchino? That's kind of what I want to explore here today. The main way I'm going to compare this is with Serpent Spine as well as Wolf's Gravestone. Wolf's Gravestone is a 5-star weapon that gives a whack ton of attack percent, right? Serpent Spine, especially at R5, is definitely quite a bit better than Wolf's Gravestone in Navia's team context where you evaluate her with Bennett. So what we're going to be doing here is we're just going to be testing a team with Bennett, like this team, and we're only going to be looking at Navia's max stack damage. We don't care about like the whole team damage performance. We're just looking at like the crit with Navia with max stacks. So I'm going to do Wolf's Gravestone build with a crit rate circlet, right? So this is the Wolf's Gravestone build. And then I will switch to Serpent Spine with a crit damage circlet. So this will be the Serpent Spine build, and this one should be significantly better with Bennett. But then I'm going to switch to a team that does not buff Navia meaningfully and see how Wolf's Gravestone compares to that. And I want to emphasize, like, the point of this video is not to be like, oh, you should not use Bennett with Navia. Like, no, you definitely want to use Bennett with Navia. These two characters synergize quite well together. But if anything, what I want this video to emphasize is like how we probably need more attack buffers in the game than just Bennett. Alright, we're just gonna ult here. Ungen, I don't really need to activate it, but I'll activate it anyways. I don't know, why not? And we already had stacks before, so we have max stacks, and bam! That's 165,000, not bad. Alright, so that was Serpent Spine. Let's see what Wolf's Gravestone gets. Alright, max stacks, bam! 166,000. We're going to switch back to Serpent Spine. I feel like I may not have actually had max stacks. Like, I'm pretty confident Serpent Spine should have been meaningfully better, not almost exactly the same. Like, the difference in these artifacts as far as, like, the attack percent, whatever, affecting the crit we see shouldn't have been that big. Alright, we have max buff. Alright, double checking the stat page. We have 3,600 total attack, and yep, and bam. There we go. That's kind of more what I expected to see. You know what, I just realized I'm dumb. The reason that was so different is because I didn't have max Serpent Spine stacks before, but, just for comparison again, let's switch back to Wolf's Gravestone. Oh yeah, Wolf's Gravestone also has this second part of its passive where you get a 40% attack for the whole team for 12 seconds if you hit an opponents with less than 30% HP. Alright. We have max stacks, 44, 82 attack, and everything looks correct. Wait for him to stop parrying. Can you stop, bro? There we go. Bam. 145k. Alright, one more time. 175k. I don't know if there's a visual indicator for when Wolf's Gravestone's passive is up, but there you go, right? But if we delete Bennett from existence, as he deserves, what happens in a team without Bennett's buff? And I have purposely configured this team to have, like, no, like this is not a team that has, like, high Navia synergy for her personal damage, right? This is a team that's like, oh, it's a 3-unit team that, like, yeah, these two DPS units can be pretty good, and then this is a keep me alive and enables aggravate unit. The synergy with Navia here is just that, like, Navia can be a flex unit in the last slot. I genuinely think Navia's ability to be put in a team like this and be a compelling unit is really one of her strengths. But obviously we're not going to see the same level of damage in this team from her compared to when she's, like, with Bennett, right? So we'll do Serpent Spine first again. Alright, we have max stacks and oh gosh, he's dying too fast. Oh, we got max stacks, alright, and blam, 58k. Alright, this is the same build as before, just, you know, different team. And do that. Alright, we got max stacks. Can you stop doing your thing? And there we go, blam, 66,000 that time. And we definitely had full stacks. And now we tried Wolf's Gravestone. In this team we have 3,000 attack total. Same build. Alright, we got max buff going on. Bam. I didn't crit. Dang it. And blam. I didn't crit again. Sorry, screw you again. I have more crit rate than the other build. So if I can actually land a crit, what I suspect is we're going to see either higher or very similar damage from Wolf's Gravestone compared to R5 Serpent Spine. Despite the fact that normally R5 Serpent Spine, like R5 Serpent Spine is as good as Navia's weapon, right? This is a weapon that people consider worse than other weapons, right? And alright, we got max stacks, bam, and are you serious? How am I getting this unlucky? Oh, like, just troll game. Just like, no, we're not going to allow you to prove our point. There's a 50k without max. I think that was 2 stacks. I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't trying there, but just casual 60k without even trying to build max stacks, which was the same as what we were getting with Serpent Spine before, right? Also, Nori, spare me from my suffering and let me crit for once, please. Alright, we have max stacks. Not quite. Wait a second. There we go. Alright. What are you doing? Bam. Are you serious? Does Wolf's Gravestone have a negative 40% crit rate passive on it? What is happening? How? There's only a 22% chance I don't crit. I suppose one thing that is worth mentioning quick while I'm suffering getting non-crits here, having a bunch of extra attack percent does actually help increase your non-crit based damage, right? Like crit rate, crit damage only matter when you're critting, whereas attack percent gives you some amount of damage value even when you don't crit. So it's not like, you know, we weren't getting any damage from Navia there, right? It's just really annoying for my context of trying to actually compare these things. Alright, we got things going, and blam, 85,000, there we go. And I'm pretty sure that was probably with the, oh, he did. That was probably with the second part of the passive triggered. That was more damage than we got from Serpent Spine. Took me far too long to try to get a crit with this much crit rate, but, you know, it proved the point. Navia is kind of a perfect character here for, like, demonstrating this, like, relationship between, like, attack percent and how, like, Bennett influences that, right? Bennett is an attack buffer that gives a flat attack buff that's based on his base attack. And his base attack comes from the base attack of your weapon right here. And Bennett's overall base attack is the weapon added on top of his personal base attack, which is 865. So I'm going to use Prototype Raincore as the baseline comparison here because I think it's, you know, everyone has access to, you know, these weapons that have 565 base attack. Whether or not you have this is just kind of up to the RNG of the standard banner and how much of a mistake you've made on the weapon banner. So Navia has a total of 2,400 attack now. So if we add Bennett's flat attack buff onto Navia's attack, she would have a total of 3,450 attack. If you take that 1,050 divided by 2,400 here, that is a 43.7% increase. But if we end up switching to a different weapon, so we're going to switch to Wolf's Gravestone, we go all the way up to 3,244 attack. And what's important with this is that means when Navia is using a weapon or has artifacts that give her a lot more attack at a baseline, Bennett's relative value for his buff actually goes down. So with Wolf's Gravestone, again, we take 1,050 attack buff from Bennett, divide it by 3,200, and we get 32%, right? And that change in that relative increase from Bennett means that you might be served better in some cases by using your Bennett with your Arlecchino on the first side of Abyss, and then using Navia in a team where she can just kind of be slotted in. Alright, so we're gonna go to Abyss here, and I'm gonna keep this Wolf's Gravestone build because we saw it get a higher damage number. I think it makes more sense to keep this. We're gonna use this team in Abyss because maybe you just want to use your favorite Arlecchino team that uses Bennett. And then it's like, okay, what do I do with Navia without Bennett? Well, again, she can be paired with a lot of different units. If you want to get meaningful damage out of her, you should probably do something like, play her with Freena. Actually, maybe we'll try playing her with Freena. Why not? We're going to try the same exact team, except for replacing Yai with Freena, because that should probably be a little bit better for, clearing the Pyro Abyss mages and whatnot. And, hey, sweet. Now I get to use Bennett in my Arlecchino team here. And, like having Bennett here or not is a very significant difference as far as Arlecchino's damage. Right? A little bit less damage without Bennett. One potential downside of this team is having not two of the same element with Navia can mean you might get less crystallizes because those other two elements are reacting more with each other. But really, the dude got knocked up in the air. We just need to shield break him. Why did how did I click on Alhaitham by accident? I would like to make an important public service announcement. Alhaitham, despite being a green boy, is not the same as Baiju. Alright. Surely we'll do this a bit better this time. Alright, and blam. And schmack. Nice. I don't even know what I got there, but it was some damage. Bam. Nice 150k. One nice thing with Geo, by the way, is it's not the best at breaking most shields, well, other than like Geo shields, but it is good at breaking any shield. Like, it's just kind of universally decent at doing stuff. And, blam. Right, there we go. And we're gonna show our way to victory, though. Fischl and Freena are definitely doing most of the work here, as far as shield breaking goes, but my point is Navia wasn't doing nothing against these buttholes. And blam. Alright, come on, Freena, there we go. Let's start with a Navia burst. Alright, and schmack. Nice. And let's do another hit. There's some pretty big damage. Like, the benefit you get from going past 3 stacks from Navia is not huge. So, as long as you have 3 stacks on Navia, you're pretty safe to fire off her shot. Hey, look, crit. That benefits the Navia. Oh, of course you got your health back. Whatever. It's fine, it's fine. Scuffed first rotation because I'm not having the burst back, but eh. Oh well, oh well. It happens. Wait, can you guys line up? Oh my god. Buttholes. God, I hate... Stop moving for 1 freaking second! Got 200k in this team, I didn't expect that. It's just the strength of Freena, I suppose. Blam. 150k. Bam. Alright, and bam. Trade both of these ones. Nice. This. Oh, okay, that's fine, I guess. I kinda screwed myself not having enough energy here in a couple different instances, but oh well. It is what it is. You know? I really did wish that Navia had a bit better range. Like, it feels like, you know, as a gun shooter, she should be able to shoot farther, but it's not the end of the world. Blam. Ow, 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 ow. Stupid seahorses. Hello. Thank you for landing on me. I appreciate your service to your death. Ow. Stop it. Oh my god, stop pushing me around. I just realized that my Navia build also took the circlet from my official, by the way, and that has been negatively affecting this team a little bit. Because official is doing a lot of the damage here. But I think I should still be able to clear. And the reason I should be able to clear is because, you know, thanks to the benefit of having a Bennett on the other side for Arlecchino to make the clear so much faster for Arlecchino's team. So yeah, I think that did pretty decently well at showing my point about, one, what I actually really like about Navia. Like, I really like that she's versatile in this way that you can, you know, just kind of add her in as a flex slot. And she's not a on-field unit that necessarily even has to take a ton of field time either. And so, I don't know, she's emblematic of what I would like to see in on-fielders more for me, for how I enjoy playing the game, is I like versatile characters. And she's definitely versatile. She can be placed in teams like this. It's not the way to get the biggest damage possible out of her, but it certainly is not like she's doing no damage, right? This versatility is also kind of why it may be worth, you know, farming for her artifact set in the long term, not in the short term. You definitely shouldn't farm that artifact set right away for Navia. The reason for farming her artifact set is because she's such a versatile character that can be slotted into so many teams. Then, you know, maybe I just want to always have her built and know she has an artifacts that will never be taken by anyone else. So having niche artifacts that are only for her is beneficial. And then that frees up, you know, my good two-piece combo artifacts for other characters, potentially. I am very likely usually going to be playing Navia with Serpent Spine and with Bennett, because I feel like if I am playing Navia, I would like to enjoy seeing the biggest number possible from her. But I think this is an important exploration in, like, you know, realizing that there are other forms of getting attack in the game than Bennett. You know, Bennett's just like the primary character that is doing a bunch of attack buffing, right? And I think you get the point, right? I do think there is a very good chance that we end up getting a new attack buffing unit in, you know, version maybe 5.2 for some reason. But, you know, who knows what the Pyro Archon's kit is actually going to be like. They might have no attack buffing and I might just be sad. But someone like Navia could really appreciate having more options for attack buffers in the game, because then, you know, we can do things like not sacrifice as much damage for Navia when we want to use Bennett on the other side, or vice versa. So yeah, I like this character a lot. I think she is a strong character because she is so versatile. This is not me saying, oh, you need to get Navia, but if you like this character at all, if her playstyle seems fun to you, it would be very likely that you can get some amount of value out of Navia because of her flexibility of being paired with so many different formats of teammates. Abnormal for a Geo unit, and I think it fulfills like what I think the ideal of Geo should be, wherein if Navia was Pyro, right, that would potentially completely change the team's dynamic and it wouldn't function the same way, right? Like, there is value to having an element that doesn't interact that much. She's just a versatile character I like, so, you know, I wanted to at least make this video, give you my thoughts, and show how, you know, she's useful without Bennett, and that's a really good thing. I don't know if I'm going to be posting this video before or after DPS Cat, but yeah, subscribe and check out my DPS Cat video.